afternoon and welcome to day 4 now of Workout Challenge, Woodsy's Workout Challenge for that matter. Hope you guys are going really well in the first 3 days. I've had some really cool feedback around the fact that people are A, getting involved, and B, setting themselves a bit of a challenge, and even better for some people who haven't really made exercise a priority, it's now becoming a daily piece. Purely on the basis that they've got something to do and they're getting some guidance on how to do that. And that's what we're here about. So today's a new exercise, or a new set of exercises, a new routine. Today we're spending a bit of time on what we call the principle of time under tension. So it's about holding one position and then following it immediately up with some high intensity exercises that use the same muscle groups, but they go through the full range of motion. So we're in a still and stable position, and all of a sudden we go into a really dynamic phase, and it really fatigues the muscle. So the way we're going to set up today is we're going to do 5 exercises, or 5 what I would call supersets. So an exercise where we're still and stable, and then another exercise which is a dynamic exercise. 5 of those, and we're going to ask you to do the still and stable exercise as long as you can, and then do as many reps of the dynamic exercise on the back end of that as you can. Now, to make sense of that, I'll take you through the exercises. All right, exercise number 1, which actually this exercise, or these types of exercises, are called isometric exercises, which means the muscles are under tension, but they're not changing length, shortening or lengthening. So the first exercise is called a wall sit. All right, and remember, the wall sit is followed then by a dynamic exercise which uses the same muscle groups, and that will be squat jumps. So the wall sit, welcome to our shed, by the way, beautiful piece of work we've created here. Is this position here. So essentially I'm just touching the back of the shed and leaning on the shed. I don't want to be resting back here, okay? I can do that if I want, but I want the work to be going through the legs. So if you can come forward a little bit, it just puts a little bit more load into the legs. So you hold this position as long as you can, okay? Load up that position, making sure you're still and stable. Same thing as the squat, the knees stacked over the ankle, and the hips and knees are aligned. Okay, you don't need to go down here, that's almost cheating, and up here is probably a little bit too passive. So being in this position at 90 degrees is ideal. Follow that exercise, so you do that as long as you can until the legs are shaking, and then you go straight into the squat jump, which is up, down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Now the whole idea is hold that as long as you can, and then do that as many times as you can. Once you've done that, give yourself about a minute rest, and go straight back into it, okay? And you want to do that whole set 3 times. So it's 3 versions of that plus that. 1 minute rest, go back in, that, straight back into this, 1 minute rest, and then here again, and then back into the last round. Okay, and then we move to the next exercise. All right, so the legs are sore now, they've been fatigued inside. We're now going to turn our attention to the upper body and a bit of core work here. This one here is a push hold. It's a really tough exercise. So if anyone here can hold that for a minute, the record I know of the guys that I've worked with and the girls that I've worked with has been 2 minutes 05. All right, to hold this position. So 1 minute, set yourself that goal. It's simply a push up, but in a lowered phase of the position. Okay, so the exercise is to come down to here. We'll keep the elbows at about 90 degrees, or the arms at 90 degrees, and just slightly off the ground. Okay, so you're not in a plank, you're in a lowered end of the push-up phase. Okay, and hold that as long as you can. So that's the isometric move. And now the dynamic move to back that up, to really fatigue those muscle groups, is to go straight into push-ups. So once you've done that as long as you can, it's pump out as many push-ups as you can. Again, if you can't do it in the full position, down to the knees. Okay, and third superset, it's right back down to the core again. So working those inner muscles, the core set we call it. So from the front to the back, and all the internal muscles that go along with that. It's a plank. All right, we go from a plank straight into sit-ups. Just watch the sit-up variety I've got here for you today. You can choose 1 or 2 options. So the plank is that position there. Okay, some people prefer to be on their elbows. It's up to you, but the posture is the key here. We don't want to be the Sydney Harbour Bridge. All right, and we don't want to be down here. Okay, sunken. I call it the angry cat or the angry dog. We don't want to be either of those. We want to be tabletop, still and stable. Okay, making sure your glutes are really tight and squeezed, Elbows are underneath the shoulders and holding that position as long as you can. From that, straight into the sit-ups. Okay, so today I'm going to give you the option of these here. So we're just going to come through, arms back, arms forward, with the legs raised at 90 degrees. Okay, that's the basic. And then the extended is arms out, legs out, knees in, arms in. Arms out, legs out, knees in, arms in. Okay, so transference back from the core out to the arms again. So arms and back for this one, a bit more of a pulling exercise. I'm going to ask you to try and find a bar at the home where you can just freely hang where possible. Be innovative, find different ways to do it. I've set this one up so I can still hang and have the body suspended. But the whole idea is to hold myself up as long as I can, okay, without swinging or swaying. So it looks like this. So I come off the ground, bring the legs up. That's really tough, okay? Hold that as long as you can, all right, in that position there. Once you finish that, straight into bicep curls. Talk about being innovative. Woodsy's workout, he's got his wood with him. Here he goes. Pumping out the bicep curls as many as you can. Okay, if you don't want to use those, you can go to something like this, a weight plate if you haven't got that. And we know the bricks, the limestone, all does the same thing. Okay, so full extension of the arms and then bringing it back up. So down, up, down, up. Okay, we're back down to the floor again. This time we're just going to recruit the glutes, all right? So it's a little bit of a core-related exercise again, but it's from this position here, nice even platform at the base. And simply, what I want you to do is put your two hands on your pelvic muscles here, okay, on your hip bones even, and just raise them off the ground without them one coming up before the other. All right, be really focused on bringing them up together. Okay, bring them up nice and high and hold that position there. So there's a straight line from the back of the knees all the way through to where the back hits the ground. Don't go into this position. Both those positions are broken. It's about being neutral, okay, in this position here. Hold that for as long as you can. Okay, so once you've done that, what I want you to do is then come down, bring your legs up, and see how many times you can touch your toes. 5 exercises, 3 rounds of each superset in each exercise. You need to count the time you've done the isometric hold, the first exercise, and the amount of repetitions you do on the second one. It should take you about 30 minutes, I think we calculated, to be able to achieve all that. Good luck with it, enjoy it. You should be a little bit sore tomorrow, I hope. It means you've done the job well. Have a great day.